Yeah, hi team. We'll wait for some more time to join others and then we'll start the session. Okay, team, I think we can go and start. Let me share my screen. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So in the last session, right, what we are looking, right? We are looking into the integration that okay, how we can go and use the Fusion REST APIs. So let me come here, integrations, and we'll go and see. So we have seen that okay, how we can go and see all suppliers, how we can go and get all the suppliers and one supplier. Right? So this is what we are able to do, right? It means like the getting operation we are doing, right? But like in other operations also, right? We can go and do the insertion, we can go and do the update, right? So we'll go and see how we can go and do, right? So what we have, right? So when we are doing this one, right? So that time we are having different instance with us, right? Now we have the different instance. So I hope you have the access to this one, like the latest instance. So the whatever the latest instance we have is like this one, right? So in this one we don't have that access for that one, right? So what we do, right? We can come here and we can go and provide those rules. I can come to this. So I'm logging with this one, this user HCM20. I can come here and now we need to define the rule, right? For the to this one, so that okay, we can go and see. So if you said by default, right? If you see right here, we have the generic rules only, right? So now what we do, right? We can go and do this one, edit. And for supply, right? What all things, whatever the rules will be required, right? I will go and add all those rules here. So all the rules I have with me into this one. So first one is I need the supplier manager. So I can go and add the supplier manager role, add role. Then I can go and add these additional roles, or by just this one, right? We can go and see whether this will work or not, right? So we can come here, save and close. Now we can go to the in the procurement, right? So still it is not coming. So what we need to do, right? We need just to just log out and then we can go and log in back. So credentials we have is this one. We can just sign in. Procurement. So I think it's not coming. So I think we need to go and add all those things only. All roles will be required. So we can come back again here, tools, security console. So normally, right, these things will not be done by us. Whoever is the admin person of the team, right? So they will go and specify all the rules to us and then we can just go and start utilizing. But in case, right, if we have to do, right, so this is a process what we need to do, right? We just have to identify which all rules will be required and then we can just go and add those. So these are that rules which we have for the supplier. So supplier administration, add role. Then we have this one, specialist. Next we have is representation. Then we can go and add the planner role. And then this is the last, supplier sales representative. Done and save and close. We can go to the home page. Procurement. Supply chain execution. Let me just log out and log in again if the roles came or not. Okay, I think it's not came yet. It will take some time, I guess. Okay, I think yeah, it's available here. So I think it's not coming into this one. So this is a place where we have. So we can go and see the supplier here. And once we click into this one, right, what will happen, right? All the suppliers we can go and see here. So if you see, this is our suppliers page. And in this one, right, we can go and do the create and whatever we need to do, right, we can go and create that one, right? So we have all those things with us. And this is a new page what we have for the supplier. So this is a new page what we have. Procurement, suppliers. So from here, right, what all things we can do, right? We can go and see all our supplier thing that, okay, whatever we need to do, right? So whatever the search, right? For example, if you say, right, I'm calling the REST API, right? So here we are able to see, right, whatever the suppliers are there, right? So if I will go and see with this one, so we will able to see here, right, whatever the suppliers we have for this Lee, right? Lee supplies, right? So all those things we have here. Now, in case if we wanted to create our new, right, we can go and do, right? So in the last integration when we did, right, what we have seen, right? So first of all, right, we have seen how we can go and get all our suppliers. So if you see into this one, we have written the REST API, and in this one, right, what we have done, right, we are calling this REST API, and we are bringing all the records, right? So in this one, right, we are calling the REST API to get the all the suppliers. So if you see, we have used this REST API. So this will bring all the suppliers to us. Now, what is the next one, right? We are writing those into the FTP file, and then we have seen how we can go and get one supplier also. Now, first thing, right, what we do, right, if I will go and run this one, right, these are not going to work, right? Why? Because our credentials got changed, right? Let me go and run this one. So I will say run. So if you said we are getting that error, right? And when we are getting that error, right, in the invoke, right? So when we are trying to call that REST API, right? So that time we are getting that error. So if you see retry count, right, it is trying one time, second time it is trying, but we are not getting, right? So we are getting that error, right? Why? Because we are not able to connect with the that one, right? Because the credentials what we have, right? If you see unauthorized, that means whatever the credentials we have old, right? So those are not going to work. So what we do, right? We can come back here and first we need to modify our connection. So we can come to the connections and we can search with the B21. So this was our connection, right? Which we are used. So if you come right here, if you see, this is the connection, right? We are using for all our suppliers, right? Whatever we are creating, right? Now what we need to do, right? We need to go and modify into this one, right? So we can come here and edit. So this is the place, right? So if you said what we have, right? Previously we are having this URL, right? Now we don't have this URL, right? Base URL. So now the base URL is this one. So we can go and copy this one and we can see. So if you said if I will try to test also from here, right? So there is a possibility, right? So if you said it tested successfully because this URL is correct, right? The credentials are wrong. So we can go and enter here and then basic authentication. And now if I will do the test right here, so it is correct, right? So if you see right here, when it is testing, right, it is just testing the connection URL. It is not checking your base username and password, right? So if you see right in the message itself, right, it is mentioning username and passwords are not validated as part of this one, right? So that validations will come in the security policy only. So now we can go and do the save. So if you see right now, when we do the save, right, what will happen, right? Save and reactivate. It means whichever connections are already using this one, right? So those things, right, what will happen, right? It will go and do the save and reactivate, right? Because we are changing the credentials, right? So those integrations should take the latest credentials. So we say save and reactivate. So now what is happening? If you see, right, all those integrations are in the pending activation. So it will go. Now if you see it, all got activated, right? So it means like now all the integrations are using one like the latest credentials, right? So this is how we can go and change all our integrations in one go. Now if you said I have not changed anything into the integration, right? Now what we do, right? If I will go and see that connection, right? So this time, right, it is going to work. So this is our integration, right? If I will come here and run this one, right? And if I will say run now, so whatever that error we are getting previously, right? So we'll not get that error. Now we'll get the reply. Why? Because we have modified the connection, right? We have updated the credentials. So now we can come back again here. And now we wanted to create new, right? So the get all we are able to do, right? And get one also we are able to do, right? What is the other thing, right? If you see it, we can go and create a new supplier also, right? So for that one, right, what it is, right? The REST API it is going to be have. So let me go and use the latest URL for the get supplier also and the credentials. So these are the credentials. So now if I wanted to create, right, what all things will be there? One is a post method, it will be there. Then one is a URL which we need, right? Then what we wanted to create, right? So those information also we need to pass, right? So that information will go and pass from here, right? So I will say here V21 OIC, right? So suppose this is a supplier I wanted to create. So first I will go and search into our instance that, okay, do we have any supplier with this name? So if you say it, it is showing no supplier, right? We have, right? Now what we do, right? I can go and click into send now. So if you hear it, our supplier got created, right? So we got that supplier ID, supplier name, and everything, right? We are got here. Now suppose if I will go and see again, do the search, right? So if you see, right, this time it got created. Previously this was not there, right? But now it is there, right? So it means we are able to do, right? Same thing, right? If we wanted to do any update into this one, right? So we can go and do the update supplier also, right? So what I do, right? We can come again to the update supplier. So when we do update, right, what we need to do, right? One is the supplier ID we need to pass, right? Which supplier we wanted to update, right? So I can go and get the supplier ID into this one. So this is a supplier ID, right? So we wanted to do whatever we have created it. So that only we wanted to update. So we can go and put that here, and then we can go and put the credentials. Right? So what all things we need to update, right? So if you said in this one, right? So all these things I wanted to update. So for example, if I will click into this one, right? In this one, if you see, right, where we have this one, right? Like corporate website, then established, right? So these are things, right, where we have, right? So these things available into this one. Business classification. It should be in the organization only. Yeah, so if you see it, this is that all the informations what we have. So if you see year established, so I think year incorporated we have here. Then mission statement, chief executive title, chief executive name, right? So all those informations we have here only, right? Now let us go and run this one, right? So we'll go and see whether these informations will go and updated or not. So we can say send. So if you said update got happened, now let me go close this one and open again. So if you said mission statement, right? Year incorporated, chief executive title, right? Chief executive name, right? Year established, right? So if you see, right, all these information, right? And corporate website, right? So this is all. So if you see, right, we are updated these all information, right? So these all informations came here, right? Previously these informations was not there, correct? So this is what we can do, right? It means we are able to do insert and update, right? With the help of Postman, right? Now we'll go and see how we can go and do the same thing with the help of OIC, right? Because if you have to do the same thing in the OIC, right? How we can go and do, right? So let us come back here. And what we do, right? We can make a clone of this one only, and then we'll go and modify.
So
So we
Prashant,
can,
this payload you have taken from Oracle document.
yeah, Oracle document we have taken
So from the procurement section or supplier section?
from the procurement section. So in the procurement is a module. So if I will
Okay,
go
in
and show
that we
it,
have a suppliers.
yeah,
Okay.
in that one we have the supplier. So if you see right here, REST API for Oracle Procurement Cloud, and inside that one, right, we have number of subtasks. So in that one, we have the supplier. So here, if you said what all operations we have, right, we can create one supplier. We can get all. We can get one. We can update the supplier, right? So we are doing the create, right? So what all things will be required, right? So these are the informations. So if you go into the scroll down, right, we will get the sample also.
Okay, request a sample we
So
can get. Okay.
yeah, so you can get that example that okay, like these kind of thing which are the mandatory, right? So those information it has, and this is how that output will come. So it's not necessary that okay, you have to just put only this much. You can go and put all your fields, but this is like kind of a mandatory which will be required
So how
because
will
if you
be
wanted
knowing
to,
what kind of extra element we can add? Like how will be knowing
oh
that?
yeah, so in the above if you see it, so here you will have that
Uh,
all the informations. So if you see your body, right? So what all the this is the response, right? What is that output you will get, and what are the input request payload, right? So request and request payload. So these things you can go and put. So if you click into show source, so it will go and show. Then the required if you see supplied, supply name and all these things. So these are all our values what we can go and pass.
okay, so right now we are only passing the required value and we're
Yeah,
ignoring all
as
the.
of now, yeah, only the important, like whatever the required things right are there. So we are just putting those things only. But in case, right, in real project when you have, right, so there's a possibility that you will get all the fields, right? So that time it's not necessary that
Right.
okay, you just have to keep this only. You can go and add all your fields. Correct? For example, right, if I will go and create new, right, and I can go and put these things also while doing the creation only. If you see, right, I can go and put these things here only. So I will create this as a supplier to, and I will do send. So what will happen right now when my supplier to will be created, so along with the creation, right, it will go and do this also. So if you said we got that error, why? Because taxpayer ID, right, it should be unique always, right? So here these two things, right, DUS name and taxpayer ID should be unique. So I can write 98. If I do run again, right, so I will get the, for the DUS name. So DUS name. So your DUS name should be also unique. So I can write this also 98. So if you see, right, our new supplier got created. Now if I will come back into the instance here, and I will search with this one only. So it will go and start showing two suppliers. Supplier one which we have created in the beginning. Now this is a new supplier which we got created. Now if we come here, so if you say it in this one, while creation only, right, these all informations came here. Whereas in the previous case, right, it was not there. So whatever values you are able to see in the UI, right, all those values you can go and put in case if you wanted to put, right, you can go and put while creation only. Any questions into this one?
So this is through a REST call. So can we do from a console, like
Console in the sense like,
directly in the SaaS instance? Can we create a supplier directly by providing the informations?
yes, you can create. So this is like the additional, right, from outside we are doing. In case if you wanted to create within that one, right, yes, we can go and do that one. So we have this create option, right? So we can go and click into create. So we can come here. So if you said here, you can go and see, right, what are the required information. So for example, right, let me
And
go
this
and
is
create
what we
from,
are passing in the REST call.
yeah, same thing we are passing in the rest also. If you say it here, supplier we are passing, tax organization type, business relationship, supplier type. So these things, right? Same informations we are passing here. Business relationship, prospective, right? So let me go and create from here also, in case if you wanted to see. So tax organization type, we can write corporation. Anything you can select. We are using the corporation. Then if you select from this one, right, only these things are the mandatory. If you can go and click into create, so our new supply will be created. So if you see, supplier 3 got created, right? So if I will go and see this page now, and in this one, if I will do the search, right, what will happen, right? It will go and start showing 3. So it means in the Fusion, right, we have all options. We can do from the Fusion screen itself. Then in case if you wanted to do through the REST API, right, like for the automation process and all, right, we can do. And the last, like when you wanted to do bulk, right, supplies, so that option is also available. So that we can go and do through the FBDI. So if you see right here, we will have one column creation source. So in this one, right, if you see right, you can identify that, okay, this supply got created from here. So if you see right here, the supplier 3, we have created from the screen, right? So it is showing manual. When we create from the REST API, right, it will show web services. And when we do through the FBDI, right, bulk and all, right, so that time, right, what it will come? It will come the import option here, right? So this is how we can go and see.
And Prasan, one more doubt.
Yeah,
Can you please
please.
click on the create button once again?
Yeah, please.
So in the business relationship, we have only two options. Like when we'll be clicking the drop down, we are seeing the prospective and spend authorized. So can I
Right.
add one more option? Like, do we have any like privilege to add multiple option instead of prospective spend authorized? Can we add some
You,
more?
you, yeah, you can do, but that is like business thing. You have to see for that one, right? So when you configure your whole environment, right? So that time these things will be there. So yes, you can do, right? If you see right in the tax organization type, right? So you can go
Yes.
and add additional also. So whatever is configured into your those configuration pages, right? So those options only it will come here.
Okay, so where is the configuration pages like which you're talking about?
That I think functional team will do because that is not the technical we used to do. That functional team used to do. Because if you see right here, so many options will be there, right? So this is that like options, then supply chain management when you configure, right? So that time these options will come. So I'm not aware about that whole process. If anyone is from the functional background, right? Or if anyone has functional in your team, right? You can check with them.
Okay.
Any other questions if you have?
So the earlier when you are giving the same taxpayer ID, right? It written the error
Right.
while you're updating. So any specific field will be there that the web service failed or something to
Y-
capture and take further
y-
action.
Yeah, so in that one, right, it will show that one, right? If you see, right? Suppose if I will try to run this again, right? Again, we'll get that error. So if you said here, it will mention. So 3 errors we are getting. If you see it with the same name, right? Already one supply is already there. So we cannot create with the same name again. If you see a supplier with the value already exists, right? You must provide a unique value. So it means this supplier should be unique. Then if you see right, taxpayer ID, right? Already exists. So it means this taxpayer ID is already there. This also should be unique. Then next is DUNS number, right? So DUS number, right? So this is also exists, right? So this also we need to provide unique. So in
Yeah,
the error message, right? We'll get that okay, why it is coming that error message.
yeah, these are
So we need to
messages,
go,
right?
yeah,
Correct. Yeah, these are the messages, but any specific field like status field or something, which will be there saying that this API call failed.
no. So these are not going, if you see it, these are not started only. When
Mm.
that status will come, right? Suppose it will create into your system, right? But it is not created correctly, right? Then it will go and show the status. But here, right, what will happen, right? If your all informations are correct, right, then only the supplier will be created. It's not like that, okay, with the partial information, it will be created and it will go into some error status. So if all your informations are correct, right, then it will go and create. So if you see right in this one, right, we don't have any status column and all, right? Which will make that,
Yes.
okay, this data came into the fusion, but it is not created yet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions if we have? Okay. So if no question, then like same thing we'll try to, through the REST API, like through our OIC code. So this is what we have created. We can come here. So first of all, right, what we need to do, right, we need to modify our trigger point because here, right, we need to pass the request payload. So we can come here and we can change this from get to post. And then we can come here and we can say we need a request payload. We can say continue. And if you see right endpoint, right, endpoint is going to be same for the create. So there is no change in the into the endpoint. Then we can come to the request payload and here we can go and define the request payload. So this is our request payload what we have. Right, we can go and provide that one. Now we can say continue, continue, and how our response payload will look like, right? So whenever we create, right, what will happen, right? So we can come here. And I will say send. So this is what output look like. So we can copy our response and we can go and map the response here and continue and finish. So our trigger point got modified, right? That okay. Now we can go and save. We can go to the business identifier. So it is in the mapper issue. So now next part is like we need to create here, right? So as of now, right, what it is doing, right? It is doing the get, right? So here also we need to do the post. So we can say post here and we can do the configure request payload. We can say continue. We can come here to the request payload and here, right, what we do, right? We can provide the same request payload again. And we can say continue here and continue. And then we can go and put our response here, right? That okay, what all things we need to put here. So this is our response will look like. We can copy and put our response here and continue. And REST endpoint, right? It's still same. If you see it, REST endpoint is same only. So we can say continue and finish. We can do the save. Now we need to do the mapping, right? Whatever input we get from the trigger, right? So that we need to go and pass here, right? Then only the creation will work. So we can come here and we can go and map one by one. Whatever our informations are there, right? So those things we can go and map. So taxpayer ID, taxpayer country, one-time flag, DUNS name, business relationship, supplier type, tax organization type, and supplier. So rest all field also, right? If you wanted to put it, we can go and put. If no need, we can remove also. So we can go and put these. And corporate website. We can do the validate. So validation is successful. Now we can go and refresh, save. Now we can come to our mapper part. And here, right, if you see, right, whatever we have previously, right, so those things are not the correct one, right? If you see, right, those got mapped here, right? What we do, right, we can come here into the parent and we can delete existing everything. So we can say delete target nodes. We can do now everything got removed. We can come to the response wrapper, and then right here we can go and map whatever things we need to see. So I need to see supplier type, supplier code, organization type, code, alternate name, supplier number, supplier, party ID, and supplier ID. So in case if you wanted to map everything, right, we can go and map everything or whichever thing, right? So business relationship also let me map, right? So rest all things we can keep as it is or we can map as per our requirement. Now we can go and do the validate. So mapping got validated. Now we can come back again here and do the save. So now what will happen, right? We can go and create the supply from this also. We can come here. We can go and do the activate. And refresh. We can go and do the run body. So this is what we need to have, right? So we need to go and change here things so that okay, our supplier we can go and create. So what we need to do, right? We need to create 5. This is going to be 6. And this is going to be 6, right? Rest all things are okay. So first we can go come here. And we can say how many suppliers we already have. So if you see it, 4 suppliers we already have. And if we go and pass now, right, 5, and we can go and click into run. So what will happen, right? Now one more supplier will be created with the help of, if you see it, new supplier got created with the help of OIC. If I will go and run now here, search. So if you see it, supplier 5 got created, right? So this is how we can go and do the creation with the help of OIC, right? So suppose when we get any data from someone, right? If we get the data from any place, right? So we can go and create one by one suppliers with the help of OIC. Now this is the one supplier we created it. For example, right, if we need to create multiple suppliers, right, how we can do it? So what will happen, right? In that case here only, right, we'll go and pass that as a collection, right? So we'll pass that as a collection and then we'll do, right? But in the REST API, right, it will go and accept only one. We cannot go and create multiple we cannot go and pass multiple, right? So what we have to do, right, when we need to create multiple, right, we need to write some loop logic and all. Now we'll go and see how we can go and do that one. So we'll make a clone of this only. we can say create multiple suppliers and clone. So we can come here. So first thing, right, we need to accept the multiple, right? As of now, right, it is accepting only one. So we can come to this trigger part, continue. And this is the trigger part, right? What we have. So we need to go and modify our trigger part. So we can go and write here curly braces. We can say all suppliers polar, and then we can say array, right? That okay, this is going to be the array. Then we can come at the end. We can write array close and we can do the close, right? So this is what we are able to do, right? Now what is happening, right? This all arrays will go and accept as a array. We can do the continue and continue, continue and finish. Now we can go and do the save. So what will happen, right? Now we need to put the loop logic, right? Because one by one it will do it. So we can come here and we can write our for each. And what is going to be our repeating object, right? So our repeating is object is going to be the all supplier. So whatever the records will be there into this one, right? So that many number time of this loop should work. And here we can say current supplier, right? So current supplier we can do. Now we can go and do the save. So what will happen, right? This loop will go and start working. Now these two things, right? We need to move inside, right? Then only it is going to work, right? So what we do, right? We can do the select here. We can go and select everything and then we can say cut. So both got selected. Now we can come here and we can do the paste. So the loop will come inside. This mapper, right? What we do, right? This mapper will come outside, right? So first we can come here. And if you said our mapping is wrong now, right? Because it is into the array, right? Collection. So what we do, right? We can go and delete this one first. That delete target node. And this time, right? Instead of using this one, right? We will use the current, right? Because each time, right? We wanted to get our latest one. So we can go and do the mapping from this one. So we can go chief executive name, title, years incorporated, mission statement, year established, corporate website, taxpayer ID, taxpayer country, one-time flag, the UNS name, relationship, supplier, tax organization type, and supplier, right? So this is what we are able to do here. Now we can go and do the validate. Now we can come back here and what will happen, right? All our suppliers will be created. This I can go and delete the mapping because this mapping, right, will not be available outside here, right? So what we do, right, we can come here and we can say delete target node and validate. We can come back here, save. So as of now, right, we'll not return anything from this one. We just wanted to create multiple things, right? So this is what we had done, right? So what will happen, right? This loop will go and will create one by one. Now we can come back again here. We can do the activate. And refresh the integration. Now we can go and click into run. So in the body, right, what we need to do, right? We need to pass multiple things here. So I can copy this one. So if you see, right, I'm putting 3 suppliers. So up to 5 we have created it. So I will mention this as a 6. I will change this to 5, 5. Then this will go 4, 4, and this will go as a 7. Then this will go 3. It will go 8. So if I will go to the instance first, right? So how many suppliers we already have? So if you say up to 5 we have, right? Then what we are doing right here, we are creating 6, 7, and 8, right? So now we will see, right, whether all 3 will be created in one go or not. So we can say run now. So if you see, it is showing 200 OK, right? It means all things got created. And if you said our loop was working 3 times, right? It means it is taking one by one, it is reading one, and then it is creating. Now we can come here and we can search. So if you said supplier 6, supplier 7, supplier 8, right? It means 3 suppliers it got created into one go, right? So that is how we can go and create the multiple suppliers also, right? So for example, if we get any file or anything we'll get from the client, right? What we do, right? We can go and use that one and we can go and start using, right? So this is how we can go and use the multiple creations at a one time. Single creation we can do, multiple creations also we can do at one time with the help of OIC. So any questions into this one if anyone has?
So for the same supplier, we'll do FBDA, no? Prashant?
Yeah, for same we will do the FBDI. So in the supply, like from the REST API, right, again it will come some limitation. For example, right, if you have to create like 200 suppliers in one go, right? So what will happen, right? Your loop will execute 200 times, right? So that is not a feasible solution, right? Suppose instead of 2, right, it will be 1,000, right? So again, right, 1,000 is not a feasible, right, loop. So your integration will go into the error out. So REST API you can go and use when it is a limited number, 5, 10, 15, right? So which is a feasible number. But when it comes like the higher number, right? So for that one, right, for the bulk insertion, right, we have the FBDI into the Fusion file-based data import, right? So it means we can use the whole file and that whole file we can go and use a Fusion. So we'll use that FBDI that, okay, when we need to do the bulk, right, how we can go and do the bulk data load with the help of FBDI. So that also when we do, right, we'll see manually also how we can go and load that manually file and how we can go and load that file through the OIC.
So before uploading as a like before importing to a bulk import, we'll validate through PL/SQL or like we'll directly push it to hub
Yeah, so
tables.
in the this scenario, right, we will load directly, but in case if you wanted to validate, right, yes, you can go and validate. That is completely up to you. So what in that scenario, right, what we do, right, whatever the file will get, right, so that file first we can go and load into, instead of loading into the FBDI, right, what we do, right, we can load that data directly into the some staging table into the database, right? Then once in that one, right, once the data will be loaded, right, then what we do, right, we can go and validate one by one records. So we can write some PL/SQL code which will do some validations, and then, right, whichever are valid, right, we can go and update some status or something. Then when we do the fusion, right, FBDI, so that time from that staging table, right, we can go and take the valid records only. Then what will happen, right? So valid records will come and then we can go and load those valid records only instead of loading all, right? If we wanted to put the validation in between, right, we can go and put that validation. If you see that, okay, the file is already validated, it is well prepared, then we can go and use directly.
Okay, so do you have any PL/SQL packages written on the supplier, like to validate the supplier or anything, invoice,
No, we,
like any
so it's
ready-made
not a,
package?
Yeah, so it's normally not used to be like any generic thing. It used to be have on based on the client. So some client needs to put some validation on something, right? So it depends upon the client. We don't have any generic, because if it was a generic, right, Oracle could have provided that option directly,
Hmm.
because those are like
Because the field is going
customer
to change.
specific,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Any other
Prashant. So,
questions?
yeah,
Yeah,
here
please.
like 6, 7, 8 suppliers you have created, right? So, so what is the limit like that? How much, how many suppliers we can create? Not in terms of
Well,
number, but the size of that
yeah,
except uh,
size of.
size of the payload, JSON payload.
Okay, this one, right? So this one, right, we have some limitation. So
Yeah,
we cannot go like we don't have that number as it is. But in case if we try here, right? So it will come and it will reach some limit and then it will go and stop. So some specific size we have. I think I don't have that number exactly with me. Maybe I will check and let you know. But like we have some specific limit that okay, more than that one,
The
right? We
100
cannot
MB.
pass. No, that 100 MB is the file. Like what is the file size you can go and use? This is not a file, right? What we have.
But payload size should be 100 MB, na? Like REST adapter providing only up to 100 MB
No, no, no,
payload size.
no, no. That is different. When we do the file activities and all right. So that time, right? For the file, the size is 100 MB, not for the adapter.
yeah, okay.
Because 100
So
in 100 MB, right? You can put like too many text here. This will be in some KB or MBs only. I will check and maybe like let you know. That's limit.
yeah, okay. And so right, you created 6, 7, 8, right? If 7 got failed, and I have to send some notification, right? So,
Yes.
uh, so how we can do that? That's what I'm asking, like some status field or something that the
Okay.
REST API
So
should return.
yeah. So in the REST API, it will not come. But yes, you can go and send your email into this only. So what will happen, right? Loop will happen, right? So from here, right, we'll get that confirmation that okay, it got created, right? After that one, right? Suppose if it is created, right, we can send that email that okay, it got created. If suppose it will error out, right, then we can say that okay, it got errored out. So maybe that will go and see in tomorrow session. We can see in case if you wanted to send notification, right, how we can go and add that notification.
Yeah, mainly like I'm asking what will be that reference field based on that.
A
We can.
reference field is not going to be anything. It's that output what we do. So if you see, right, when we are one is this a status code, right, 200 okay. So if you see,
Yeah,
right, when it is working fine, right, what will happen, right? We'll get status code 200 okay created, right? And we'll get that response. If suppose if I will try again, right? What I will do, right? I will get here the error message 400 bad request. So this is
okay.
status message only we can go and use. Otherwise, we can go and see the response. That okay, whether we are getting the response or not. If we are getting the response, we can treat that as a success. If you are not getting the response right into the specific format, so then it will be error.
Yeah, yeah. So mainly like if it is a 400 bad request, then capture this message and notify.
Correct.
What happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we
So
can
we'll
see
see
tomorrow.
tomorrow that. Yeah.
Okay.
We can extend this integration and we can write that additional logic and then we can see.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so we can wrap up today's session here only. We'll connect tomorrow, same time, and we'll continue.
Prashant, one doubt.
Yeah, please.
So, like, can you please go to the OIC console?
OIC console. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, yeah, go back to the home screen. Yeah, so we have right now multiple integration like B21 OIC create like that. So if let's say I
Right.
want to call the B21 OIC get all supplier. So can I call
Okay.
from the REST adapter? I want to
From
import
outside,
that
if you want,
actually. Yeah, actually I want to import, let's say B21 YC create all supplier integrations. So can I do that from REST API?
No, you wanted to call this integration from
No,
Postman?
not calling. No, not calling. I just want to import that integration from REST API.
You wanted to
Actually, I tried
import.
yesterday, but I won't be able to do that. Like I'm not able to
No,
do that. So
no. So if both are REST API, right? So you can do, if suppose this REST API, right? You wanted to call, like this, you wanted to call it within this one, right? You can do that one.
no. I just want to import this integration. Sorry, I miscommunicated.
Oh, so
I just want to
there's no option. There's no. Okay, what is the point of import? What is the you are considering with that import?
no, I was going through one documentation there, like they have mentioned, like if you give the integration identifier and version name, you can import that IR file from your YC instance.
No. You can import into this environment. So you can export from here, and then you can go and import. Yes, that you can do, right?
No, this
So
is
that
one
is
method, like import, this is a manual import export process. But if I want
right.
to do the same procedure through a REST API, I mean, Postman, sorry, from Postman. So we
Also
have
from
some,
post, yeah,
yeah,
from Postman, if you wanted to call this one, right, yes, you can go and call.
not call. I want to export it or import it from the Postman. Like,
No, I don't think. Okay, maybe like tomorrow we can see that one. What is the document you are referring?
okay, I'll share that link as well in the
Yeah,
support.
please just share that one. I can look what it is. Then maybe I will
Actually,
get
I
better
was not able
understanding.
to execute that. That's why I like thought to ask you.
Okay. You can just share that URL, whatever it has. I will go through that one and will look what it is intention.
Okay. And sorry. And one more
Yeah,
question,
please.
like I asked like a few weeks back related to like how we can read or list multiple files from a different directory. Let's say we have a directory called a new folder one, and
Okay.
another folder we have another folder called new folder two. So I want
Okay.
to like list the file from the new folder one as well as new folder two. So how I'll be doing that because we have a multiple directory right now, right?
Okay. So that also you can do, right? Like you need to pass two directories. You can go and use that list operation, right? And then you can go and put that data into that output format.
Uh, how like in the list operation we have an option called give us like input directory, right? So I can
Yeah.
give only
So
one directory, right?
yeah. So
So
you need to call that same thing two times. So whatever the directory you have, right? First you can call that one. You can get all the files there. Then
hmm.
you can go and call that again, and then that will give you one list, right? Then you can go and get both the list.
So you mean like I need to call twice to get
Yeah,
the
you need to
files
call.
from the two folder?
Yes, you need to call twice, or you need to put the loop. Suppose if you are passing that as the array, right? So you need to put loop, and in that loop you need to pass that as a item, and then it will go and keep appending that one.
But like in Oracle SOA, like I'm not talking about YC. In Oracle
Yeah.
SOA, we have an option like if we change something in the properties file, like
Right.
directory slash something again directory slash something, then it is going to fetch all the records from the both directory. So is there any option in OIC to change the properties file something?
No, properties file we cannot change. Because like when we do that operation, right? So that time we need to pass that one, right? What value we need to pass there.
Hmm. But in the source code, it will reflect now. Let's say I'm reading, listing a file from a new folder one first initially.
Right.
Because
Right.
as you told me that like I need to call twice for different directory. But let's say I'm
Correct.
calling a first folder, so definitely there will be a source code will generate, right? Yeah,
Right.
backend will be having source code. So like my question is
Right.
like, can we change from the source code label, like if we change that statement, like we have one directory, right? There, if we add another directory in the source code, can we run it? Like, can it be run?
No, but
Something like that.
that directory you will pass runtime, right? You wanted to pass as a runtime, right? So that source code which
Mm.
will generate it, so that will also generate behind the scene at the runtime only.
Okay.
So the list of files, right? It will accept only one at a time. So if we need to do multiple and all right, we need to use that loop logic, or we need to call multiple times. In one, we cannot do the same thing.
But when you loop now, like how it is going to work? Like we have a different directory, right? So if we'll use the
Right.
loop, then how it will take the new folder one and new folder two? That I'm not able.
Okay, maybe like tomorrow we can see that one also, like how you want it to. So maybe like we can, like I will have uh, that file browser open, and then maybe like we see what you are looking for. So we'll try to create that one and we'll see. Will that work?
Okay. Like my requirement is very simple. Like instead of calling twice, like two folder, like can we
Yeah.
make it
So like
on
we'll
one
try to
call?
do that. Yeah, we'll try to do that directly on the OIC, and then like I will able to explain you, and even I will also get that, okay, right? What you are looking for, what you are seeing that okay need to change. So we can create one integration itself, and we'll try to put that scenario into that integration, and we'll see whether that is possible or not.
Okay. Okay. And also I'll share
Okay.
that link which I'm talking about,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
doing
Please,
import and
please.
export through REST API.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. If we have any questions, we'll try to take tomorrow. Thank you all.
Thank you, Prashant. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.